2013, the Met wellness influencer Belle Gibson, who attracted a huge global online following with her brave story. Bella shared her incredible story of living for years with terminal cancer on Instagram. Her adoring audience was inspired by her every post. KYLIE everything was bright and glossy. An amazing style about her that was very engaging and very appealing. KYLIE says she was incredibly open and honest. MAXINE says she was unafraid to be vulnerable and be very explicit about her experience. They related to her health issues. When MAXINE Ali began secondary school, she was diagnosed with the chronic illness ulcerative colitis. The foundations of Belle's radical approach, healing illness through diet, were laid over 50 years ago. Wellness was born in 1960s California, where a generation of young Americans experimented with Eastern mysticism, mind-expanding drugs and back-to-nature living. Before long, wellness shed its alternative roots, growing with exercise fads, spa tourism and diet crazes. Wellness has reached the mainstream. Wellness found a home on social media, encouraged by celebrities, who posted their aspirational lifestyles, full of wellness practices. It was at this point that Belle started posting. Inspired by Belle, PIXIE Turner took to Instagram to spread the wellness message. PIXIE's wellness journey began when she was advised to see a cardiologist, following a healthcare scare in the family. Like hundreds of thousands of others, PIXIE and MAXINE started using the first wellness app in the world, The Whole Pantry, designed by Belle Gibson. When Belle went on breakfast TV to promote the app, she was admired by the hosts. They were visibly moved by her seemingly inspiring story. Having funded the award-winning app herself, now Apple invited Belle to California. They wanted to adapt The Whole Pantry for their soon-to-be-launched Apple's Watch. The Whole Pantry was about more than just healthy living. A portion of each app sale donated to charitable causes Belle was passionate about. In Belle's hometown of Melbourne, mum of three KYLIE WYLLIE had a successful personal training business. She was diagnosed with cancer. 6 months of treatment in hospital, KYLIE's health wasn't improving. Interested in finding out more about Belle's lifestyle, KYLIE bought Belle's newly released wellness book. With her book and app, Belle advocated clean eating to help heal the body, which meant restricting your diet. PIXIE's diet became more and more restricted. After 9 months of chemotherapy, KYLIE was struggling to cope with treatment for her lymphoma. Wanting to follow Belle eating steps, KYLIE began messaging her directly on Instagram. After Belle says her cancer has come back, Belle's devoted followers poured out their love and support for her on social media, but her claims were so extraordinary that some had started to doubt her story. Richard, in 2005, his wife had cancer and wanted to have some sense of being able to control the illness. He believed that living with brain tumor or cancer for 5 years without treatment is impossible. Richard said, "The way she looked on pictures is as if she never had it prior to 2014." Bella erased her entire history on the internet, according to Richard. When he looked deep into the internet, she found that before she was this person recovered from cancer. Everyone looked up to her as this trash-talking skater girl, according to Richard. He also was 20 years old in 2009, not 17. Not only had Belle been lying about her age, as Richard continued to research her past, he found further worrying inconsistencies. When apparently she was writing from a Hollywood private hospital in Perth, and recovering from open-heart surgery. It was supposedly written in real time where she went to pray and how she did in hospital 3 times. Richard wasn't the only person skeptical about Belle's story. Online, others were raising doubts too. Penguin, the publisher of Belle's book, had also started to notice discrepancies in her story. To prepare Belle for journalists and their probing questions, they gave her media coaching. After a year of following a strict cleaning eating diet, MAXINE wasn't seeing the results promised by wellness. In February 2015, Richard flew to Melbourne to meet Belle, who was doing interviews to publicize her new book, The Whole Pantry. From the interview he thought she was lying. Bella had changed her story about having secondary cancer, but before he could safely go to press, Richard had to prove his theory that Belle never had brain. Other journalists were on Belle's stories too. They found that she dropped out of school 15 and 2 years later, she settled in Melbourne just before having a son. Belle failed to deliver $300,000 to charity. BEAU spoke about it. The news that Belle hadn't paid the promised share of her profits to charity rocked the online wellness world, attracting loyal defenders and fierce critics. Belle's story exploded into the public sphere, as news of her cancer fraud spread fast. It garnered a furious backlash. When the story broke, those closest to Belle were reluctant to go on the record, afraid of the backlash. Her parents didn't publicly support her. Her friend made a statement as long as she was not identified. She claimed to have left home at age 12, spending her teens living with friends. The only thing with her. You can't take what she says at face value. Belle disappeared, purging all traces of herself from social media. A Facebook group, called Belle Gibson Uncovered, sprang to life, where people shared stories about Belle and examined her every post for inconsistencies. Within 2 weeks of the story breaking, Penguin had withdrawn Belle's book and Apple had removed any mention of the whole pantry from the website and App Store. 3 months after the scandal broke, Belle appeared on the Australian current affairs show, 60 Minutes. When asked if she was a liar, she said no.